Hi, my name is Coach Judith, and I have been teaching coding to kids for about 6 years. I'm going to be leading you through a video today that we're going to watch together and talk about. Prior to teaching coding to kids, I worked in industry. I have a degree in computer science, and now I'm teaching coding on the internet. So things have become a little different for all of us. So the way this class works, we're going to watch a video that my coworker Steven created, and we're going to talk about it as we're watching it. This is the second half of this episode, and we are going to begin it in just a minute. Here goes.
It's exactly a
Oh, let's chat a little bit about that little footage that we just saw. Steven says he codes daily and why. How many of you do something every single day? And why do you do that? Here are some of the things that I do every single day. I start my day by doing sit ups. The reason I do that is because I am trying to be fit. What are some things that you do every single day, and why do you do those things? What if you didn't do those things every single day? Are there other things that you would do instead? Do you maybe make your bed every single day? Is there something else that you do? Let's keep watching.
as complicated as I needed it to be to do what I needed it to do. Because every line of code I write has a why.
All right, so Steven says every time he writes code, there's a reason that he's writing code. Why is he creating this code? This code that he is showing us here is written in a language called Racket. Racket is a language that we use in our metacoders and our ThoughtStem classes. It's a very uncommon but very useful language. You can use Racket to create code that creates other languages. We have written a lot of other languages using Racket that we've used to teach computer science. That's a very meta concept. We have written code that has created coding languages that we then use to teach children. This code here, looking at it, I've never seen this code until I watched this video, but it looks like Steven has created a piece of code that he has defined as clip. And I'm guessing that is a video clip. And he's passing in parameters that are the day and the name of the clip. He's created a function, I bet, that is called video. And it has a width and a height that all the videos are going to be the same. And then let's keep watching and see what he tells us about this code.
This piece of code in this highlighted box right here creates an HTML video tag, pulling a file from my S3 account. I wonder if you could figure out from the code here how to download.
Okay, so I want to back this up just a teeny bit. He said, could you figure out from his code how to download this video? So let's look at this. The source is a website. Here we know it's a website because it starts with HTTPS. That's how all of our web strings start. And then here it's an Amazon web server that is being used to host the videos. They're called the COVID-19 videos. And here he is passing in the day and the name. So I went and I looked at a video, and this is the same HTTPS. You can't see that here, but it's the Amazon web server, the COVID-19 videos. And today is day 15. That's what we passed in. I'm thinking maybe it's day 15 of Steven's quarantine or his stay at home order. And E7, this is the 7th episode. And that's what he named his video, episode 7. So that is how his code works. Let's go back and keep watching.
some footage that I took.
I'm gonna paste it in.
Okay, so here Stephen is teaching a class. I believe this was a class that he was teaching to high school kids. I remember when he taught this class. Let's keep watching.
And I'm gonna run it, and if what I got is the same as what you got, then you're right.
Does that remind you of being in a classroom, everybody sitting all next to each other, not practicing social distancing, all those students sitting next to each other, and then the that they all did together? Do you miss those days when we all could sit next to each other and have a shared experience? Let's keep watching.
Yeah?
I want to apologize to every student I taught that way.
Stephen wants to apologize. So what we saw in the first half of this video, for those of you who haven't watched the first half of this episode, he was saying that he used to teach, and everyone used to teach, still teaches computer science as how do we do this? How do we do that? And he believes that it's more important to talk about why are we creating code. Let's keep watching.
I did it too. I am totally guilty. I have told many a student that you can get a great job if you learn how to code, that you can go work at Google where they have really nice offices if you learn how to code. What COVID-19...
Okay, so some of you may be interested in studying computer science or computer coding, or maybe your parents want you to be interested because they think you'll get a good job. And that's the only reason to study coding. But actually, there are other reasons to study coding. And I think as we go on in this course, we may see some reasons why it's important to study computer science. So let's think about now, what are some reasons to study computer science, not just because you could get a good job at a company like Google and make a lot of money. Some of the reasons that I personally think it's important to study computer science, couple things. One, I think learning any subject is important. So I think learning about history or learning archaeology or learning math or learning how to write, I think learning anything is important. Just education, having an educated background is important. The second thing is learning about computer science is more about learning how to break a problem down into pieces and solve the problem as it is broken down. And I think that's more important than learning how to code so that you can work at Google. What do you think?
has taught me in a matter of weeks is that we need different whys. We need to wise up.
We need to wise up. Stephen is making a silly joke, isn't he? Here he's going to talk about that, I think. Oh, okay. A cheesy joke, just move on.
And then here, I think this is quite beautiful. Here I make a row. This is a row down here. And each of these is one of those cards. We call them cards.
Let's look at this code. So Stephen thinks this code is beautiful. What do you guys think is something that's beautiful? There is the traditional stuff that we think about as beautiful. Maybe the sunset is beautiful. Maybe we look at a painting that's beautiful. But there's also something beautiful about code that works, that creates something that is pleasant to look at, that creates something that's organized, code that's easy to read. So here's Stephen's code. This is a row, and it's going to have 3 different clips in the row. There's the workspace setup, the coffee mug close-up, and Lindsay on, I assume that Big Mac isn't the hamburger, but I think it's on the computer. So that's the first clip in this row. And the second one, I bet if we looked at this second piece of code here, it would refer to this box, this coding team hoodie flyby. And there'll be 3 of these, I think, in this row that all start with this clip card and would create these 3 with video clips here. So there is some beauty in how concise it is, and how it's easy for us to read, even if you're not a coder. It's pretty easy to see when he uses the word row that he's going to end up with a row with the different clips. Let's keep watching.
With this show, I am going to try to show my thinking process, my design process that starts on paper and leads to code.
So Steven's, maybe surprising to you, his process of coding always starts on paper, where he thinks about what is going to be involved in creating the code, because it's more important to think about the algorithm. That is a big, oh, here comes my kitty. That is a big word. That means we're breaking down a problem into its steps and following it. And Steven does that algorithm work on paper, he says, not on a computer.
I want you to do it with me because, quite frankly, your ideas might be better than mine.
Your ideas might be better than Steven's. You know what? Everybody has great ideas, no matter how old you are, no matter how much experience you have doing certain activities. Everybody has a good imagination, especially younger people that maybe can think outside the box. One of the things we talked about in one of our other videos, maybe you don't have as many ideas that have been told to you, so you can think about your own ideas. Let's watch the end of the video. Oh, yes. Let's talk about how we can make our world better. There have been so many wonderful things that I've been reading about what people are doing to make the world better for other people during our COVID-19 crisis. I've heard about our healthcare workers that are going into work and helping people. I've heard about kids in my neighborhood that have been volunteering to bring groceries to seniors who are stuck at home. What have you heard about in your world that you think it will make it a better place? All right, that was the end of our video. It was great doing it with you guys. Bye.